Good morning. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick is getting us ready for this Tuesday morning. And Thomas, at least the rain seems to have moved out. So what do people need to know as they are planning for their day ahead?
Yeah, for today, still rather cool out there this morning. Those winds still just a fair bit breezy, enough to make it feel a bit colder than even just what the temperature reading is going to be. We call that the wind chill factor. 38 degrees, though, our current temperature. Winds out of the southwest at 15 miles per hour. But aside from that, should shape up to be a pretty nice day overall. There's your current temperatures in the mid-30s for the most part, and a few 40s already in central Washington. I'm going to keep an eye on maybe a sprinkle or so this morning. Same tomorrow morning. But our temperatures, they are on the up and up in a big way. Should hit the low 60s for this afternoon. And I'm tracking 80s for the first time this year. Later on in the week, we'll have more on your extended forecast coming up.
And as you wake up this morning, we want to help you prepare for your morning commute. Here's a live look at I-90 in Havana right now. The traffic is moving nice and smooth here at 6 o'clock in the morning. If anything ever pops up, we'll be sure to let you know about how it may slow you down or how you can get around the traffic. We'll keep you updated here on Up with KREM. With Expo celebrations in full swing this week, SpoCanopy is planting nearly 500 new trees across the Spokane region. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is live at Cannon Park this morning. So Brandon, tell us more about why they are planting these these trees this week.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Well, the ultimate goal is to enhance the beauty and sustainability of some of our neighborhoods here in Spokane. Those efforts start here today at Cannon Park. So there will be crews out here, and 80 trees will be planted over the next 2 days just here at Cannon Park with the help of SpoCanopy, the Spokane Urban Forestry, and volunteers. So they'll all be out here a little bit later this morning, just a few hours away actually. So that's planned for May 7th and May 8th, but the rest of the week will also be used for planting trees. May 9th and 10th, the planting will be taking place at the Spokane Conservation District, where the Lands Council will restore an urban forest on their campus. May 11th, about 200 trees will be planted along the Appleway Trail in Spokane Valley. And while all of this work is happening, the Lands Council will also be giving away 100 free meals at each event from local food trucks and Avista. So the planning will kick off here in just a few hours. 10 a.m. is when crews are expected to arrive. And as for the areas they decided would be beneficial for planting the trees, they did extensive research on identifying different neighborhoods and neighborhoods they felt would also be able to take care of these trees as well. But for now, reporting live here in the West Central neighborhood, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
At 6:03, let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. NASA canceled Boeing's Starliner launch just hours before takeoff.
The vehicle is not in a configuration where we can proceed with flight today.
They say an oxygen valve wasn't working on the capsule. The next opportunity for a launch is tonight, just after 7. Police in Western Washington used a piece of gum to catch a man that they think killed a woman nearly 40 years ago. Police found Judy Weaver dead inside her Everett home back in June of 1984. Investigators say new DNA evidence uncovered just last year led them to 66-year-old Mitchell Gaff. But investigators still needed another DNA sample. So officers posed as representatives from a gum company telling the suspect that they were doing a study on which flavors people like the best. The samples matched and police arrested Gaff for murder last week. Well, Governor Brad Little honored the 3 Idaho Department of Corrections officers who were shot during the prisoner escape at a Boise Medical Center back in March. Yesterday, he signed a proclamation declaring the week of May 6th Corrections Professionals Week. The governor met with officers and their families during the event.
I will faithfully discharge
all the duties of police chief.
All the duties of police chief.
Of Moscow, Iowa.
Well, it's officially the start of a new era for the Moscow Police Department. Last night, the Moscow City Council swore in Anthony Dollinger as its new police chief. Dollinger has been with the Moscow Police Department for more than 12 years, and that's a look at your morning rush.
A new development this morning in a local story that made national headlines. The Coeur d'Alene City Prosecutor's Office decided not to charge the man accused of yelling racial slurs at the Utah women's basketball team. 2 months ago, the team called police saying someone yelled racial slurs at them while in Coeur d'Alene for the March Madness tournament. The team was so upset the NCAA actually moved them from their hotel in Coeur d'Alene to a hotel in Spokane. In the days after, we spoke to the Coeur d'Alene NAACP. They say North Idaho has not done enough to combat racial bias.
The racial bias is so intense. None of the organizations that say they stand for civil rights in our community will even collaborate with me or my organization.
The prosecutor's office explained their decision not to prosecute in a 6-page document. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez read through those documents and joins us now with more.
The deputy city attorney says after weeks of investigating, there's not enough evidence to charge anyone in this case. He started by outlining what police found while investigating. They say there was some surveillance video of a few trucks driving by loudly, but not of anyone yelling the N-word on their walk to dinner that night. The reports say there were 5 people who saw it happen, but they couldn't give enough of a description for police to find the person. After dinner, though, police found video of a car driving by the team yelling racial slurs and sexual comments. The team's coach talked about what happened in a press conference back in March.
No one knew how to handle it, and it was really upsetting. And for our players and staff to not feel safe in an NCAA tournament environment, it's messed up.
Police figured out the person who yelled those slurs was an 18-year-old Post Falls high school student, Anthony Myers. From there, police looked into 3 potential charges for Myers: disturbing the peace, disorderly conduct, and malicious harassment. Prosecutors say malicious harassment has to have a, quote, intent to intimidate. According to investigators, Myers and the other people in the car say they were just trying to be funny. The city prosecutor says while it is, quote, absurd to think something like that is funny, it doesn't show that malintent. Plus, they say there was no believable threat of physical harm or property damage. As for the other 2 charges, the prosecutor says it comes down to speech versus conduct. They say Myers actually yelling out or revving an engine isn't loud or unusual on a busy street. The prosecutor says free speech makes it so they can't actually talk about what Myers said, so he says there's no chance of convincing a jury just yelling out the car window is tumultuous or offensive. In the end, the statement says the prosecutor's office is also upset and condemns speech like this, but is not going to criminally prosecute Myers. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
There's $1 billion up for grabs this morning, and some of it could be yours, but you only have 10 days left until you may claim it, until May 17th. That's the word from the IRS. We're talking about tax year 2020. Typically, you have 3 years to claim a refund. Some 940,000 people have not submitted a return for that year. More than 26,000 of them are from right here in Washington state, with a median refund of nearly $1,000. The first reminder went out in March, and you now have just 10 days left to file. One caveat, though, if you do file and are owed a refund, the IRS will actually put a hold on it if you haven't also filed returns for 21 and 2022, just to make sure you don't owe in those years.
Bit of a cool Tuesday morning for us, and just enough of a breeze to just make things feel just a little bit chilly on this Tuesday morning. But I'm also keeping an eye on Doppler radar because there might be some sprinkles or could actually be some flurries as of this hour. Now, as I look at Doppler radar, yeah, there is some blue over Whitman County. This is actually closing in on Colfax, and it's between there and Steptoe along Highway 195. I'm going to check out the cameras to see if there's really anything falling and if it is frozen precipitation or if it's actually just drizzle or sprinkles as of this morning. Also look at St. Mary's. Looks like there could be a little bit of, again, could be snowfall at this hour of the morning. It's not an issue, though, for today. It's just going to pass through, and for the rest of the day, should be dry and much, much warmer. In fact, warmer than yesterday, looking at highs between the mid-50s and low 60s for today. And by this weekend, there we go. That would be the warmest so far this year with temperatures in the 80s.
I think that AI is really the future in a lot of respects.
It's almost time for summer vacation. So coming up in the next 6 minutes, a look at why travel experts believe artificial intelligence is the future of vacation planning.
But first, it's time for your wake-up call. Today is National Teacher Appreciation Day, and this week actually is also Teacher Appreciation Week. So this morning, we're asking for your teacher shout-outs. Here's someone who wrote in to us. Someone said, "Thanks, Ms. Furman, for seeing my grandson's great potential and showing him how to find it. He did amazing this year." Yes, we love that. It's so great to see what an impact our educators make in the young lives of our community. So send in your shout outs. It could be a message like this one, or it could be even a picture. You can text it to our text line 509-448-2000. We'll be giving out shout outs to teachers all week.
I just need a second to get my jacket on. Show this and cool. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1. I'm meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Today will be just a little bit warmer overall as we're starting to enter a bit more of a dry and certainly warm weather pattern for the rest of this week. Still could be a sprinkle or maybe even a flurry during the morning hours, but that would be insignificant compared to the warmth that is on the way. About 60 degrees for today, but that warm weather pattern will result in 80s by this weekend, courtesy of this massive ridge in the jet stream.